Okay, I'm back.
Uh-oh, Wayne is back.
Well, it canceled out on me just as I was getting Chris to speak.
Well, don't worry, we hear enough of Chris anyway.
All right. Just say whatever.
Hi guys, we're here at Queen's Park. We're just finishing up our festival for the day. We just did a nice march. It was for the anti-mask march. We're helping the anti-masking with these cards. You guys have all seen them on the news. They are not fake. They are not fraudulent. The info have a medical exemption to not wear a mask. That phrase written on the card makes it so you do not have to wear a mask anywhere in Canada. Anywhere. Unless you're at work and you're working. Otherwise, you do not have to wear a mask. You don't need the card, but the card is helpful. These are our organizations on the back of the card. Tomorrow we're going to be in Hamilton supporting the Canadian anti-mask march. They're going on all across the country tomorrow. We've gotten national media coverage. We have millions of people who know who we are now. We did the TTC protest to prove that we could put 100 people on the TTC, none of them wearing masks, men, women, and children. We have a new initiative that we're also starting. We're going to be contacting Toronto Public Health. We want everybody to call them. They're not honoring the exemptions. Businesses are not being given the proper information. It's causing conflict between businesses, their employees, and their customers. We saw somebody get shot the other day because they showed up to a grocery store without wearing a mask. This is the kind of stuff that's ridiculous. We have people losing custody of their kids because they're showing up to our protests and disobeying what the government said. The government's getting very desperate. Why? Because we're working to turn public opinion against them. Why are we against masks? If you want to wear a mask and you think it protects you, that's fine. For us, it's about freedom. Freedom of choice is essential.
Amen.
If you give up your freedom of choice, you're giving up one of your rights, and that's the only way they can get your rights is if you give them up. They can't take them. So that's why they start with something simple like the masks. Then they move on to contact tracing. Then they move on to vaccines. And at that point, when you have mandatory vaccination, you have no more medical freedom. You're no longer a citizen, you're a slave. That's the progression, that's what they're trying to do, and that's what we're trying to prevent. That's why we're here every week talking about ending the lockdown. We're also trying to help the small businesses. Small businesses are the biggest, most vital section of our economy. 70% of all our jobs are small businesses. 97% of all our businesses are small businesses. We had 1.15 million small businesses to start in 2021. Because of lockdown, not because of COVID, because of government policy, we lost 225,000 of those businesses by June. That's millions of jobs gone. For good, not coming back. You understand what that means? Combine that with $400 billion deficit, never-ending CERB payments that they already extended to the end of the year, which they're going to call universal income and make indefinite. Add to that the reduction of our GDP that in March alone was almost 10%. Wow. 10% in 1 month. What do you think is going to happen next year when these consequences start manifesting in things like way higher taxes, way lower services, higher HST that's going to increase annually? And of course, they're not letting any of these things go away. Doug Ford already told everybody, get ready to wear masks for years. They already extended our emergency well into 2021. They have no intention of giving you your freedoms back. They have no intention of giving you your businesses or your jobs back. They have every intention of keeping you scared and getting you to keep complying with more and more mandates and dictates that equal more and more control of your life and you giving up more and more of your freedom to these people that don't care about you and that are not sharing in your misery. The government isn't losing a paycheck. The government hasn't lost their freedom of travel or any of their rights. No, they've taken it all from us and told us it's for our own good. And they told us it was to flatten the curve. We have 493 hospitals in Ontario. We have about 175 COVID patients in those hospitals.
Wow.
That's like a third of a patient per hospital. I think we can say that the curve is flat. Mississauga, Ontario didn't even have one new infection of COVID. Instead of the mayor saying, congratulations, we beat COVID, he tried telling everybody, this is just the beginning. Just because there's no more COVID, it doesn't mean that's the end of lockdown. So now the narrative has switched twice. First there was, keep us locked down to flatten the curve. Then once the hospitals were empty, was keep us locked down until infections subside. Then even after infections are gone, now they got to keep us locked down to prevent a so-called second wave from happening. So by their logic and by your submission, are you ever getting off of lockdown? Answer is only if you choose to. If you keep choosing to comply, this is your new normal, and it's only going to get worse. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, guys.
Okay, thanks, Chris. All right, that was Chris Sky, everybody. And yeah, to really see the live thing, you got to be down here. But you heard him. I mean, that's what's going on, right? I don't know what. That's what's going on. So everybody's kind of being casual right now. They've already had the speeches. Let's see. Just wander around here. And here's my good friend Eli. I'm on Facebook Live. Can you say a few words?
Yes.
Just one sec.
That's what happens when you get famous, eh?
Yeah, that's right. So this is Eli.
How you doing, guys? Yeah, you can. You're all well.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna come around this way because the sun's come. That's better.
Just explaining that the cards that are being given out by the protesters from the Freedom Act, it's not that they're fake. They're not fake. They're not phony. What they're doing is they're simply an extension of the bylaw that's already in place by the City of Toronto. Go to the City of Toronto website, okay? You're going to find the mandate. And what you're looking at is you're looking at Section 2, subsection 2. And that tells you what you need to know. If you have anyone with a medical exemption has the right to enter the store without a face mask. And there's also section 2, if I'm not mistaken, subsection 1, D, right? Or subsection D, section 2, subsection D. Then there's the rest of it where it says that you don't need to show proof of your exemption. So you don't need to carry around a card saying that you have heart disease or you have cancer or whatever. That's never been the case. It's the same thing here. So you can walk into a store, say that you've got a medical condition that eliminate or that exempts you from wearing the mask, and they cannot ask you to show proof, and they have to let you know that's that's part of the law. Okay, so when you go in there are going to be managers, there are going to be people that are going to give you a hard time because they don't know that that's part of the bylaw. All of us see is the government through the media tells them that masks are mandatory, period. That's all the business owners get to see. You just omit the fact that everyone has an exemption if you have a legit medical condition. You don't need to prove any of that. Just state you have your condition, get into the store. I've done it. I haven't worn a mask once. It works every single time. And if they give you a plus, then I'll run your check because that is the law. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to fear, don't worry about being confrontational or not. You can be very civil and just go in and tell the truth. You're not going to be lying if you go in and say, I have a medical condition. I'll give you an example. So what I did was I gave phony medical, not phony, it's a legit medical condition. I said that I'm intolerant to hypercapnia. That's the truth, and that applies to every single human being on planet Earth. That's my medical condition that I stated. I didn't have to say that, but you get let in every single time.
What was the thing that you said you're intolerant to?
I told them that I had hypercapnia intolerance, which is true. It's not a lie. You could say that you have intolerance of hypoxia. So hypoxia being non-hypoxia. Okay. Hypercapnia being too much CO2. Okay. Both of those things are true statements. They could be classified as medical conditions. Sure. And they have no choice but to allow you to have it. It's part of the law.
So that's what I'm worried about if I want to go shop
All right,
at
thanks.
Costco or something.
Thanks, Eli.
No problem. Yeah, no problem.
I want to go shop at Costco. I know that they're going to tell me.
All right.
They will.
So moving along. Here's when we got to interview. Here we go. Sir, I like your shirt. Can you say something? Yeah. Can you say something to Facebook Live? Just say hi. Check out his shirt, guys. Thanks, man. Some people don't like to be on camera. Alrighty. All right, let's go talk to Letitia. Whoa. Letitia, I'm on Facebook Live. Would you say hi to Facebook Live? Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi. What do you want to say to them?
Well, all I want to say is stay strong. Don't let the government or the mainstream media intimidate you into silence. Your voice matters. Your stand matters. You can make a difference. Believe that every voice matters. Every one of you can make a difference. You don't necessarily have to come to our gatherings, although it would be amazing if you came because you get a lot of courage and you see that you're not alone for questioning the narrative that's being pushed on all of us. Okay? Trust that your words can make a difference. You know, look what happened with my 30-second video that ended up going viral all over the world. It caused so much awareness for this issue, and it allowed those of us who have been questioning, people out there that have been in the same boat as me, saying like, this is not okay. I'm being denied health care because I'm refusing to cover my own breathing, which can potentially further jeopardize my own health. Look at the controversy it's raised and how many more people are waking up as a result of my one little 30-second video. Every one of us. Martin Luther King was one person. JF Kennedy was one person. One person can make a world of difference. Do not discount yourself.
Amen.
You are more powerful and more important than you think, my friends. More powerful and more important than you think. Your voice matters. You are as powerful as any one of us. You can make a difference. So if you care about freedoms and personal rights, personal freedoms, you want to see our country continue being a democratic country, not a communist, totalitarian society for the future of our children and grandchildren, the onus is on you to step into your own power and take a stand and say, enough is enough. We're not going to stand for these tyrannical measures.
Amen.
Every one of us can make a difference. Trust that you can make a difference. Do not discount yourself. You are more powerful than you think you are.
Amen. Thanks, Letitia. My wife, Kathy, says hi. She's watching.
Hi, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And very people come out. And if not, then have your own gatherings, and some of us will come to Toronto to support you. Okay? Blessings.
Okay, thanks. All right. Let's see who else. Almost tripped. Just a gathering of people with like minds. Nobody's saying you have to. If your conviction is you feel that that wearing the mask would be beneficial, then do it. Then do it. But it's the whole thing a mandate, and understand that this is not about Corona. This really is not about Corona. There's a method, there's a madness behind it, and that's what we're trying to get people to understand, to really understand. I mean, this thing, look at the numbers. The numbers don't line up with what they're trying to do. The numbers do not line up, and the numbers do not line up. You know, we're trying to really educate people along the way. Let's get real news happening, really what's going on. None of this fake stuff. Whatever the fake is happening, whatever they're telling you, we've been spoon-fed for years on fake news. And it's time that stops. It's time that we wake up. It's time that people stand up for the rights and do something about it. And really, that's all for me today, guys. It's kind of wrapping up here. We're probably going to head back soon. Okay, bye now.